So yeah, we're going to build this poly CLI tool in Rust. Well, we already built it. We're just going to work on it today. So there's a previous video where we built it in an afternoon or evening. I don't remember what time of day it was, but it didn't take long. It's a pretty simple tool as it stands, and we're going to see what we want to do with it. The basic idea is that there's a bunch of languages that I can't remember how to use all of the tooling around. And Poly is supposed to help me remember how to use those tools. And maybe eventually will just like use those tools for me and I don't have to remember anything. I can just switch between a bunch of languages and use the same tool. Maybe it'll be cool. I don't know. The new language that everybody's talking about, isn't that like every freaking day on tech Twitter? I mean, every day. This brand new language. This is the most over 30 dev tool I've ever heard. Like, I both, like Badger, I both like hate this. I hate this idea and I love this idea. It's definitely a love-hate tool. No, man. I don't think I've seen it. What is it, Amit? I think you're setting up for a joke, but what is it? I have not seen it. Okay. I have not seen these nuts. That's true. All right. I knew it was coming. It wouldn't be Tech Twitch without a D's nuts joke, right? Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Well, apparently we've just taken over Twitch, right? Um like better than before, yeah. Um we've taken over Twitch, at least Pirate has. You know, Thor's taken over Twitch and just is breaking crazy records and is getting like 12,000 viewers. No, he had 18,000 the other day. 18,000 concurrent viewers on a game dev stream. Very impressive. Very cool. Yeah, seriously. The dude's on fire and I'm happy for him. I think he's got, like, it's not like I know him well, but like I'm really happy for him. He seems like a really solid, good person, and I like his takes, and so it's nice, you know. He was yeah, he's done all sorts of things. He's done all sorts of things, but you know, he's got a big background in game dev. I think he worked for Blizzard even, if I remember right. Um, so back when Blizzard was in its heyday, maybe. But yeah, he's done like DOE stuff, all that business. But yeah, he definitely has a few badges for sure. Okay, so let's exit our OCaml and let's see. Mm, yes, go ahead and kill it because I already did this. Okay, we don't need that. We don't need this. Okay, looks good. We're fresh. I did get my changes to Mint T merged, the README changes. So our contribution that we made last week or whenever that was, last stream anyway, uh, went into the repo. So yay, we we are so amazing for making a README update. But you know, it's nice to contribute. Um, why the hell? Why the hell isn't VLC on? I thought I went through all of these things. Okay. I just realized that music's not even on. Okay. I swear, I guess I just missed that one. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I just missed one. It's because I switched back to VLC from Spotify. Okay. So let's get our Rust project open. Cool. Let's see where we were. Really? I have a hard time believing this, but I guess it's possible. What's the change? That I put /CL there? Is that the right change? Let's find out. Nope. Let's try this one. That looks better, but like, what the hell? I think I wanted it to go here. Okay, front. This is the... Yeah, I guess it makes sense that I went to symbol index. Okay, that's fine. We'll leave it. Let's undo this change because I like where it was before. Okay. So if we call poly common Lisp docs. Okay. And then this should work. Okay. Just making sure we're in a good state before we start making changes. So this should be all up to date. Perfect. Okay, so right now we're just one file. There's not a lot to this project so far. Essentially, we have a hash map. We used lazy static to make this a little bit easier to do. I can't remember the details as to why we had to use lazy static, but it was something to do with having a statically defined hash map work within at the top level. So it was something along those lines. I can't remember all the details. This is a problem when you jump around too much, I guess. I'm gonna try. I'm trying to choose. Okay, I'm sticking with. I think we're finally at a point, and what I'm feeling inside my heart is that we're going to stick with Rust and OCaml for a while. I don't know how long a while is. We'll see how that actually goes. But I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so hopefully between those two things, I can not forget like everything that I'm supposed to know about using the language. So that's helpful. All right. So basically, right now, what do we have? We have resources defined for all of these languages, and then we have our basic clap start, which is this impl command thing, if I remember right. Let's see. Oh no, here's enum command, right? We have print resource. Never mind. That's that. Okay. Let's see. Where's all of our clap stuff? I guess our clap stuff is down here. So we have our lang enum. We have a command enum. We have our arg struct, right? So this is command author version about long about equals none. Why don't I remember what this stuff is? I think this is just this clap stuff, right? And then we have main args parse. Right. Okay. So args has the whole parse thing, and right, the args are laying on command. And so far what we did, I remember right now. Okay, we're good. Okay, so our args are our command line application args. And lang and command are just specified like this because they're in order technically of how we specify them in the tools. So because of this, you know, I can't do this and it will work. I have to put the lang first, right? So yay. Okay, back up to speed with where we're at. First time Rust streamer, I know, right? Meanwhile, check out these videos of me doing things in Rust that you really most people haven't, right? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, my whole stream brand at this point is like, uh, it's not what I thought it would be. Let me put it that way. My stream brand is somewhat like Grug developer tries a bunch of things and forgets most of them, and knows some things and forgets most of them. Yeah. How about that for a brand? So pretty good. Okay, so we have build, run, docs, test, REPL. I feel like, did we finally add all those? We did. Okay. Build, run, docs, test, REPL. Okay. This is fine. I was just making sure we had everything that we needed. So the main thing that we don't have, I guess, is like an init project thing. So that could be cool. Learning and forgetting equals infinite content. That's fair. Oh, Clojure comment. Classic. Okay. So there's an init project in a lot of languages, right? And so we could do something like that. Short-term memory loss for programming languages. My memory is pretty abysmal. It really is. My short-term memory is not very good. My long-term memory is very selective. What's really weird is I'm really good. Like I was really good at school. No problem in academics. I could read something and remember it, like almost verbatim. But for some reason, like I do lose like information pretty quickly at the same time. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how that goes together. It's like you know, I don't know. It's a weird mix for sure. Maybe I used to be smart. Maybe that's really what it comes down to. Is like I was smart when I was young, and now I'm not. Now that I'm 38 years old, my mental decline has just, you know, been so rapid. No, I don't think that's true. Yeah, that's what I don't understand to me is I did excellent in the exams. No problem. Oh gosh, I don't know. My brain's pretty weird, pretty all over the place. Yeah, I mean I've had, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot to it, right? So maybe I, you know, I blame ADHD too much now. When I was a kid, I didn't know I had it, so maybe I didn't have it to blame. I'm not sure. Okay. All right, so I don't feel like there's anything extra I feel like doing. Let me think. What do we want to do next? So we could either add some more functionality to this, or we could try to get it to actually figure out a way that we want it to work where you have a choice of whether you want to actually run it or you just want the information, right? Yeah, no, I got that. You're also being pretty sarcastic. Yeah, no, I got it. You're good. So this is where we actually have to do research on like how to do all these things, right? So let's just start with something simple, like let's say Rust run shell command, I guess I would call it. Std process command. Okay. Command new ls.arg.arg spawn.expect. Okay. So yeah, let's just see how this works. A process builder providing fine-grained control over how a new process should be spawned. A default configuration can be generated using command new program, where a program gives a path to the program to be executed. Additional builder methods allow the configuration to be changed, for example, by adding arguments prior to spawning. Okay. Let output equals if config target OS equals Windows command new command .arg /c echo hello .output expect failed to execute process. Okay. Yeah, this looks good. Okay, so let's just try to do something really simple, just as a test. Let's do Clojure, since I know Clojure the best and how the tools work and how they should work, and it's simple. So I wonder if, I guess run is technically an arg to line. So let's see how that works. Did you know C minus minus also exists? I was like, wait, C dash dash? What does that mean? Oh yeah, is there C minus minus? Most people call that Rust. Or they'll call C++ Rust minus minus, depending on which side of that you're on. Okay, so this is all the insert stuff. So this whole thing basically won't work. Let's start with a branch so we don't fuck everything up. We'll say git cob actually, oh wait, this is branch name. Okay. V2, sure. Even though we're on V0, we'll just go right to V2. How about that? Okay. And so V2, what are we going to do? We're going to actually run something. So I need information like, I need this to be a little bit different is really what it comes down to, right? So let's just actually create a brand new one. I think I want to move this out because it's annoying to read this way. Let me think. Okay, we're gonna go enterprisey right now. We're gonna say struct resource v2. All right, and what is resource v2 gonna have? It's going to have Yeah, totally. C minus minus is just C. How about that? Are you? I'm sure this is a joke, but like, is there really a C minus minus? That would be. C minus minus. There really is one. Okay. The C minus minus language reference vent. SPJ. SPJ right effing there. That is hilarious to me. I had no idea. For those of you who don't know, SPJ is the creator of Haskell. So, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. So we're gonna have resource v2, and I wonder how this would make sense. We could, I guess you could have functions. Hey Alvi, what's up? We could have functions for each thing. Let's start with options for everything. I think that's partly what I want to do. I actually want to do it this way. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks. Okay, so we're going to make all this optional. It's probably not going to be a static stir at the end of the day anyway, so I probably shouldn't have done a find and replace on all of that. Let's see. What should I do? It'll be interesting. Let's just try a line. I think what I want to do is start with actually just one of these. I should have just commented it out. I'm being dumb. That's the Grug way of commenting things out, by the way. Yeah, let's just do build to start with. And then we will copy some of this lazy static malarkey, which I don't know for sure if this is going to work, but we'll see what happens. And this is going to be map-lang resource v2. I guess it was resources. I haven't tried Odin yet. No, I've heard about it, but I didn't try it. Okay, we have to make sure that we actually return our map after we create it, and then close our lazy static block. This is going to need a semicolon, and everything else should be okay. Oh, maybe I can't have two lazy static blocks. That's reasonable. We should be able to add this static ref then to the other one. That's probably what we have to do. Let's see. Might not be how you do this either. Okay, what are you guys actually mad about? The name M is defined multiple times. Oh, yeah. That's actually probably the problem with it all. I probably could have had a different. We'll just do this as M2. And this looks good. Now we just have warnings. Hey, Van Corno. Yeah, thanks for the chat. This is an ErgoDox EZ. It's probably about 7 or 8 years old. It's static. It's static. Oh my god, it's a split keyboard. Obviously, has tinting. You know, all that stuff. Pretty LED lights. They have newer versions that have like backlit keys and stuff, and they also have a Moonlander now, which is kind of, you could say, a more modern version of this keyboard. But this is based on like an open source thing, but I bought it as a pre-built. So yeah, it just has MX Browns, nothing too fancy, but it's nice. It's been a good keyboard for me for a long time. I'm likely upgrading at some point next year. Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is V2. Here we go. MV2. Isn't that just like extremely, isn't that really expressive? Since we jumped from V0 to V2, just automatically. Okay. So this is going to be our new map. For now, we're just going to define Clojure, but we have to decide how we want to do it. Like, how do we want to take, what is the, because I assume that we're going to have to do like command a new command. Here, I'm being dumb. We should just do this a simple way to start with. How about this? Let's do this. No matter what happens here, we're going to comment out this. Actually, it's just comment out this whole thing. We're going to make sure that we actually know. Why isn't it going there? That's where I would expect you to go. Oh, that's bad. I hate it. Okay, it's fine. Let's do this like this. So if we wanted to build a Clojure thing, we would say something like .arg build and output .expect failed to execute process. Sure. Okay. Now this is in the current scope. This is std process command. So I'm just going to add it as a new line, which is not the most idiomatic thing to do, but here we are. Oh, that's funny. I have command. I called something else command. That's really annoying. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Enum. What should I rename command to? Maybe I'll just rename command to something else. Yeah, I have to qualify the usage. I could. I guess I could just do this. We'll start here. We'll just do this for now, so we don't have to do all the other stuff. Should just be a, yeah. I figured it would just give me actually, what is output? What is the output type? Result, output, error. I wonder what output actually gives me. Let hello equals output dot stdout. Okay. So if I do all of this and then I say dot stdout, what is this type now? I can pretty much guarantee you it's not output. Stud process. Okay. Evacuate. Okay. Cool. So let's just forget about the output for now and see what happens. Yeah, so it's just a byte array, basically. Byte stream. Yeah, I know. It used to be a pretty popular keyboard absinthe for sure. Let's see. So Van Corno asked, live streaming and chat comments break your flow sometimes. Yeah, for sure. I don't get a lot done on stream most of the time because of that. But yeah, I don't want to say because of it. It's just a different way of coding, right? It's just a different workflow. Would I be as productive if I was streaming 8 hours a day compared to like what I would do normally? Like, no. But it's fun, you know? It's fun to mess around, figure out things. If I had deadlines, I'd probably freak out. But Hans using a Glove 80. Yeah, I'm actually considering, that's what I'm considering getting this next year, is a Glove 80. I haven't completely decided yet between a Glove 80 and Kinesis 360. Those are the two I'm considering. Because I want to try a concave board. Okay. So we're just going to not care about this at all. And this should do it. And so now if we go in cargo install dot, I want to say it is, forgot path. Absinthe says you have an Argodox and a Moonlander. Didn't like the Kinesis 360 Pro at all. Huh. Lack of homing nubs on FJ really bothered me. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I could see that. I believe Glove 80 is ZMK, but I could be wrong. Okay. So we replaced these packages, and now let's just go into a Clojure project and run. We're just going to run poly like with no args. It shouldn't actually matter, but we'll see what happens. I guess because I'm doing args parse, it might actually matter. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. So let's see. I have a Clojure project here that if I run line build on, we should get, is it really not called line build? Fake Clojure developer confirmed. What the fuck is it called? Is it not called line build? Am I crazy right now? I'm like so freaking certain that it's called line build. There it is. Why? Really? There's no build in line? I guess it's line. What? Hilarious. Hilarious. Yeah, Glove 80 is a very pretty looking keyboard. It was your first split and you're very satisfied. Yeah, I know somebody who has a Moonlander and a Glove 80 who's in the stream sometimes, Rond, and he's in our Discord as well. And he's very impressed with the Glove 80. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I like. It's probably what I'm leaning towards over the Kinesis. Okay, just kidding. Line build isn't a real thing, but we can still test it. I mean, we can still see what happens. Okay, so if we say poly Clojure build, sure. So we don't get any output, including we don't get any errors or anything like that. Okay, so that's fine. So that means that the output of the program is not output automatically when we create a new command through std process, which is what I would have expected, but I just wanted to make sure that that's what would happen. Okay, so I wonder how this works. What does spawn do? Executes the command as a child process, returning a handle to it. Absent, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Do I like pudding? I really like tapioca pudding, but that's about the only pudding that I like at this point, I would say, in general. And I almost never eat it because I also don't eat dairy anymore. And it's mostly all dairy, at least what you can get out here. Once in a while, you can find like a coconut milk one, and it's pretty good. But, you know. Dang it, Amit. I keep thinking you're serious. I'm trying to learn Rust, and I find watching other people writing and talking about writing Rust has been helpful. Yeah, totally, Absinthe. That's cool. Yeah, I'm all about it. I've watched a lot of streams myself while trying to learn things. I did this whole thing with Rust. If you're into the whole Rust thing, where we did a bunch of data structures in Rust. So that's probably like my let's see, going real deep Rust content. But you know, we'll be writing Rust here and there on stream for sure. You are serious sometimes, I mean. I just wasn't thinking about it. Okay, executes the command as a child process, returning a handle to it. I guess what I really want, waiting for it to finish and collecting all of its output, that's not going to work for all the things that I want to do, right? So output isn't good in general because it's waiting for it to process. And I want to stream basically the output of the program, right? Like into stdout. So I think what I want is probably spawn. And spawn gives me a result child. Okay. So let's change some things. Here we're going to say spawn. Well, let's see. Let me think about this for a second. Okay, let's say output right now. We know that we have. Why did Rust Analyzer die? This is 100% not an output. stdout returns a vec u8. Returns a byte stream. WTF. I don't remember how to get a string from a byte stream. Anybody remember? String to, nope. Byte string to string Rust. I guess from UTF-8 or something. Yeah, there we go. Converts a slice of bytes to a string slice. Okay. I wonder if it will automatically do like an into sort of thing. Stir from UTF-8 sparkle heart dot unwrap. Okay. Okay, so we'll do this, and we just need to print. Is that it? Print line. But print line takes a format, if I remember right. This is the thing that takes a. Am I wrong? I could be wrong. Print line. Okay, that's what I thought. It's this one, right? Okay. It's been a little bit. Okay, so let's go back here. Let's just go ahead. Let's just run it here. This will be fine. We'll just cargo run and see what happens. I have to do a dash and then provide args though. I should just comment out the args. It's dumb for me to keep putting args in at this point. I'm just trying to verify that. No, I didn't want cargo install path. Okay, what did I do wrong? Yeah. That is what I wanted. How'd you know? Okay, Rust analysts are finally caught up and figured out that I have a byte stream. How about it? Let's just do cargo run and see what happens. Nothing. Not what I would have expected. Okay. So we're not printing out the output from line build. Okay. Let's try something simpler. We know how ls works, right? Okay, ls looks good. So why did I not get a build is not a task when I had line.arg build? Is build not a true arg? Like, that doesn't make sense. Command new program.arg build. Okay, this looks fine. Is it that this is returned as an error? Oh, I am hiding errors here. But I feel like that error should be like a Rust error, not like a lower command error, right? Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting point. Std error. Okay. Is there a std error? All right. So let's get rid of this. Okay. Let out equals output dot stdout. Okay. This looks good. Let error equals output. Let's just see. Oh my God, I can't type. Let's just see what we actually have. There is a std error. Ah, good call out, Amit. Good call out. Look at you knowing things. Print line output. Std out. I think that'll work. No. Why don't You don't like me? Can I not use... Oh, yeah. I just need to change that to out. Okay. And yeah, command does stderr and stdout. Yeah, cool. Hey John, how's it going? Hope your day's going well. Line build to text to ooh, that's actually a really good point too. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Okay, yeah, we can try that. Okay, let's just try running this. Good call out, Amit. So I think it was Absinthe that asked me the question. No, it wasn't Absinthe. It was somebody else. Asked me a question about like productivity or something. Then there's also times like this, you know, where it's like chat has good points, right? Helps me along. Un momento. Oh shoot, I missed a gate call. How did I miss that call? I think they got through. It was just an order. Cool. I think we're okay. This song always throws me off. It's a little too much for me, I think. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing good, John. Thanks. Yeah. Writing some Rust. I mean, day you're writing Rust is a good day, right? Chat helps a lot, CSD. Yeah. I know. See what you're doing to us? Okay. Okay, so we know that we're here and that things are working. Build is not a task. Kind of forgot about that. It makes sense. In general, we don't build like this way. We will compile it or we'll Uberjar or something along those lines. So typically, if you're going to call build, you actually want, well, you could want several things, right? A lot of times we just want to Uberjar. So it's actually me being dumb again and just going off the cuff when I wrote this before and forgetting that it's not line build, which is what you would expect in a lot of cases. It's line Uberjar, which is fine. We'll just leave it at that. Is it like perfect? Not exactly, but it's probably the closest thing we have for building is probably Uberjar. So we'll do line Uberjar. Okay, so we know we have an output. That's happy. Let's go ahead and we'll do an Uberjar just and test it out just to make sure it's working as expected. We should still get an error this time. It should just be a different error. We'll see what happens. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'll go ahead and do a cargo install path dot, and we'll go over to our thing here, and we'll say polyclosure build. And since it's waiting for the output, it's going to be really annoying. There we go. So then we have stdout. Interesting. So compiling Clojure AOC 2023.core goes to stderr. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Okay. But there's that. Ideally, I just stream the output and I don't care where it comes into, really. Newcomer to the stream. Oh, no, you already read that. Is there pipe in command? The stdout and stderr are only available when the task is complete. If you want to stream the output as it, yeah, look if there's a pipe, yeah. So I'm thinking that what I have to do on the command, because output waits for it to finish, right? And obviously that's not going to work for me. So I have spawn, and I'm thinking that's probably what I want, but let's see what else we have. We have spawn, stderr, stdin, stdout, status, output, new, get program, get env, get current dir, get args, ems, env remove, and clear env, current dir, args, arg. Okay. I think spawn's the right choice then. So let's try doing a spawn instead of an output. Now, if Rust Analyzer actually already finished, it would know that this is a child and not an output, but that's okay. Yeah, spawn seems right. So spawn is just a struct of stdin, stdout, and stderr. Okay, well that's easy enough. What do we have? We have methods id, kill, try wait, wait, and wait with output. Yeah, wait sounds possibly right. Waits for the child to exit completely. Well, not so much. Returning the status that it executed with. All right. Let's see. Stderr. Okay. Okay. So this gives me an option, child stood in, stood out, and stderr. Okay, let's just look at this. A handle to a child processes standard output. This struct is used in the stdout field on child when an instance of child stdout is dropped. Sure. This just has traits. So I'm thinking I'm gonna want. It's probably something in a trait that is going to give me the thing that I actually need. So I think we're going to, wait with output. Okay. Simultaneously waits for the child to exit and collect all remaining output, returning an output instance. Oh, wait. This just means it returns an output. Okay. This helps avoid deadlock. New pipes between parent and child. Yeah. Let me think about this. Like this would work fine from like a build perspective. And like processes that you don't want to run forever. Oh, stdio piped. Okay, stdio piped is interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I just saw that. Okay. Stdout, stdio piped. Okay. Dot spawn assert output dot status dot success. Okay, let's look at what stdio piped actually does. piped on stdio. A new pipe should be arranged to connect the parent and child processes with stdout. Okay, it's basically just giving me the exact same thing, but that's okay. Echo hello world dot stdout stdio piped output. Expect string from UTF-8 lossy output dot stdout hello world. Okay. With stud in. What's this, Van? Google forces you to do some YouTube or Twitch in addition to your dev work. The new Google Play policy forces solo devs like you to have 20 testers before you can publish an app. Oh, that's really dumb, Van. I don't like that. That doesn't feel right. Yeah, well, it's a classic big tech move, right? Probably in the name of safety or something. Not cool. So stdio piped dot write all dot spawn. Okay, so here's an example of spawn. Okay. Command new rev stood in stood out. Oh, so I just need to look at what the stood in also is on here. Not necessarily. Wait, no, give me a second. I'm processing this information. That's the stood in method on command, not the field on child. So what does this method do? Configuration for the child's process standard input handle. Okay. This makes sense. This is how you do it. So this is how you can pipe the output. So I would want dot stood out stood io. I mean, I know that was the example, but I just had to understand it. I had to understand why I was doing it this way. Okay, so if we say .arg uberjar and then we say .stood out stood io piped, and oh yeah, okay, we're just gonna go here and say use stood stood process stood io. I know I don't have to do it that way because there's only one, but I'm going to do the other one eventually. Stdio. So why do you still think this is wrong? Oh, because it's a method, not just a field. Duh. Okay. Stdio piped. Cool. Yeah, I don't need stood in. I just need stood out. Now did they have, I imagine they have a stderr method. They do. Okay. I was like, they've got to, right? Okay, so we're just going to say that, and we're going to do the same thing for stderr. And then ideally, what we should see is all this stuff basically doesn't matter. Option child stood out and child stood error. Okay. Out dot anything? No. Okay. let's just forget about these lines and see if this works the way that I would expect it to, which is, you know, piping things, right? You know, that whole thing. And we'll go from there. Okay, that did nothing. Okay, so I spawned it. Then I need to do something else after I spawned it. I haven't. I mean, I doubt I have. Yeah. It'd be easier to buy 20 Android devices for 20 Google accounts and keep being an independent dev. Yeah, that's fair, man. I mean, I guess you could do Fiverr. I don't know. You know, something like that. I mean, paying $5 per test would probably suck, but yeah, you're probably on the right path. I mean, let me just do this. I need all of these open. Buy 20 friends. That's what I've done. I've bought them with my time of streaming. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Mechanical Turk. I couldn't remember the name of that. I bet that's how people are getting around it. If Mechanical Turk or a similar service still exists, that's a great way because you can do things for super cheap, especially if they're like basic tasks. Pennies. All right. Wait. Probably wait. Waits for the child to exit completely. That's the problem. Yeah. So I'm spawning, but I'm not waiting. Yeah. That is the problem. So I have to say spawn dot expect failed to execute process, and then we're just going to say dot wait dot expect command wasn't running. We're just using their examples here. Let's pretend we don't care about this anymore, which means I'll probably need it in just a second and have to rewrite the whole thing. Okay, this looks fine. Doesn't feel like a pipe, and I didn't get any output. WTF. Yeah, I could print child status, sure. Rust Analyzer still thinks this is a child, even though I did this. It's had plenty of time to build this. I don't know what's up with it today. It's not doing so good. Print line status output. What does exit status become in child? Code's probably what, an int? That's fine. We can make that work. Or we could just do success. All right, we'll do this. I mean, this isn't like correct, of course, in the sense that oh, you can just print status. Oh, that's dumb. So I could have just done that. Stupid. Send child to school, right? Learn the child. Let the child learn how to print their own damn status. It says it's child here, Amit, but like down here, wait returns a result exit status error, and then expect goes ahead and returns. End is near. Don't get too controversial. But yes, we haven't yet, but at some point we do have to kill the child, right? In the program, guys. In the program. Okay. So we are getting this. So it's exiting with a 1. But we're not getting any stderr printed. That's annoying. So let's ask Jupiter. Let's see if they have any brilliant ideas. All right. Since we paid for this month anyway, we might as well use our subscription, right? Yeah, this isn't like the real error though. Feed them to the demon, the bad ones. We feed bad children to demons. It's not Damon, it's demon. Okay. How can I pipe the output of a child process in Rust to stdout? Hey, Ninja. Yeah, we started with the output method, which essentially does that. But maybe you're talking about something different. In Rust, you can use std process command module to run a child process and pipe its output to stdout. Here's an example of how you can do it. Okay. Spawn, yep, question mark, understood. That's basically our code so far. Get the child's processes stood out as a readable stream. This is the part we're not doing. Okay. Wait with output. You think that would? I think part of the problem is I've configured it, but I'm not actually taking any of the stdout as like I'm not actually streaming it. So while the stdout being piped is working, like it's piping the child's processes stdout, where if I didn't do it this way and I just waited, it would just collect all of the output in stdout, right? And then I'd get it at the end. I think that's what piped is doing here for me, is making sure that that's not what's happening. But we will see. But yeah, you were saying wait with output. Yeah. Okay. I don't think this is going to do anything differently here because I'm still not actually collecting stood out from anywhere. And I think that's the part that I wasn't like completely understanding, right? So right, so really the only difference is wait with output gives me the output after waiting for it to end, where wait gives me the status code. Now it's nice to have the output, but we shouldn't really need it. So let's try doing what Jippity says. Being good little human minions for the wisdom of Jippity, right? And see what happens. Okay, so that should actually be the child again. Let's actually call it child, because that should be where we end up. Yeah, right. That makes sense. Right, and I need to look at stderr as well. I can't just pipe one of them. I need both. Child.stdout.take.unwrap. Oh, you mean I'm using stdio twice? Is that a problem? I don't know if it's a problem because that's what they did. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll just start with this. I can't type numbers. So then we get our handle IO stood out. Okay. So this is our handle to our normal stood out, right? It'll clutter the output. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Stood out handle dot lock. Let's just read what lock does real quick. Output, what? Output doesn't implement stood format display. That's straight. What are you talking about? Are you on crack? Let mute buffer equals 0 4096. This looks fine. Let mute stood out lock stood out handle dot lock. This looks fine. But what do you, whatever, I don't care right now. I just need to keep typing probably. Is this really a thing? No method names. Oh, it's old stuff. That's what it is. It's old stuff. We're good. Rust Analyzer just didn't catch up yet. Okay, I'll read that after I write this out. Where are we? Where are we? There we are. Loop. Loop. Come on, guys. What are you looping for? This is what you can look forward to when ChatGPT code is the most code people write. Suddenly, everybody's just going to loop. I actually don't know how else you could do this without looping, because we do kind of just need like an infinite loop that just breaks when we don't have something. I think there's a way to do this without the loop expression. I just don't remember what it is right now. Surprisingly, stood out lock dot write all and buffer 0 in, right? And then I guess we can just return a result. I wasn't returning a result before. I guess we can. We'll just do this. We'll do expects instead. Write all failed. We'll do this. Stood out lock dot flush. Flush failed. error, return error. Need a comma there. Wait, I don't need a comma there. Oh, you don't need a comma if you have, I forget, you don't need a comma if you have curly braces in a match statement. Recursion, we could do it with recursion, yes. We could just do, we just keep reading until we can't read anymore, right? It's fine. This isn't the worst thing. Then we just wait after this. Okay, so we spawn, and then we have to make sure we wait, because if we don't wait, expect wait failed. What did I do? And if, no, we'll just do this. I think I can do this. Print line status, because I'm pretty sure they have a display on status. It turns out. Oh, that's funny. This is returning an error here because I have the result. But I can't actually return anything. So what I actually want to do is say, print line error return nothing, and I guess I'm missing one of these now. That makes sense. Is this the same as stdio inherit? It could be. Did I just write all this code for no reason just because GPT told me to? It's possible. Let's find out. Yeah, Ninja, you can't just watch me write out all this code and then say, oh yeah, inherit would work. All right. It might work. Okay, right. IO should just be stdio, right? I'm guessing that's what it is. I didn't look at the uses. Use stdio self right. Oh, it's because I have to put in right. Okay. Self right. Okay, command and stdio. Sure, this is fine. Writing too much zig, it's just gonna ruin in your brain, and just kidding. It might work since child gets parents descriptor. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Where? 650? Okay. Method not found in child stood out. Oh, 193. I was like, I don't have this many things. GPT messed up. It did not tell me that I needed a read trait. So messed up, man. All right. You're using C again? Yeah. Here you're like, you're on to new things. You're writing zig. And then you're actually just writing C. Cannot borrow. Child stood out as mutable. As child is not declared as mutable. Okay. Another, nope, that was me. GPT did the right thing. I did the wrong thing. Big surprise. Match stdout.read mute buffer. Okay. Oh, it stood out. I bet I was supposed to do stood out lock. No. Interesting. Okay, so GPT messed up there. I have to borrow that as mutable, but it's not even declared as mutable. All right. Rust working. Link to this project. Yeah. I mean, none of this code is up there, but this is the project we're working on. We're so basically right now, the V1, well, it's actually V0. We went from V0 to V2 today. That's how fast we're iterating here. Just kidding, because versions really mean something. I will probably not call it V2 for real. I'm just memeing. But Stack Overflow has the inherit solution. Oh, okay. Stack Overflow is dead. Okay, we can't use it. We can't use it. It's dead. You need to listen to the influencers on Twitter. I don't know what's wrong with you. I'm gonna stand up. Un momento. And I probably need to do a quick message check here. Everything looks good. Got some deliveries in. Good for me. Okay. And camera's focused. Everything looks fine. All right, let's see what happens now that we fix those couple things. See if, okay. Nothing different, actually. I still just got exit status 1. I didn't actually get, oh, that's right, because I'm not reading stderr. So let's change this to something that we know works. Let's change this back to ls. I mean, the only thing that sucks about ls is it's not like it's like streaming the output is going to be that much different than seeing it otherwise, but at least we'll know that this is actually printing something. Okay, there we go. How about it? Yep, looks good. Okay, so we got the stood out this way. Let's look at inherit and see what this is like. It's just stdio inherit, huh? The child inherits from the corresponding parent descriptor with stood out. Use stood process command stdio, let output command new echo, arg stdio. It's so much easier. Why didn't ChatGPT tell me to do it this way? Sad. Okay, let's see if this is identical to what we just spent all this time writing, right? Let's see. Let's go ahead and just commit. We'll do a little git whip. And let's just change stderr. Oh, this actually would tell me something as well, but that's okay. We'll just say stdio inherit here. And actually what I can do is change this to stderr instead of deleting all that code. And everything else should be the same. Okay. This is fine. Okay, looks like it's exactly the same. And just out of interest, what happens if I do go back to line Uberjar, which since we're in a Rust project should fail. Nice. So we got it out from the other way. Now, if I just say stdio inherit here, I don't think this is a problem. But we'll see what happens. I am very interested to see what happens here. I'm guessing, I just want to see what happens. It's like, because I'm not piping it anymore. I'm inheriting it. But like, is it still just going to work? Is it going to double print? Nope, we got to panic on a none value. That makes sense because it's not there anymore. And then it finally printed something. Nice. Love it. All right. Good deal. So let's go ahead and delete all of this code. We do need to, we do actually need the wait still. Okay, let's undo that. We'll delete everything but the wait. And we should have the same result. Perfect. Okay, cool. So now if we go and actually install this, what is it? Dash dash path dot. Oh my God. And then we go into our Clojure project and try Polyclojure build. Look at that stream. Look at that streaming. Aw, it's so good. It's so good. Okay, love it. I don't actually care that much what the exit status is. I just want it to wait. So we can just kind of get rid of this. Not what I meant to do. There we go. We can do this. Okay. Well, that's a hell of a lot simpler, at least. Now I just have to figure out how I want to actually make some of this work. Can I add wait to the end? Oh, I can now. You're right. You're right. Because I'm not doing anything with child. So let me think. Do I like that? Yeah, this is good. Good call out. Dot wait, dot expect. Okay. And we don't need this to be mutable anymore. Wrong one. Let's try that again. Try that again. I'm trying to remember this keybind. Nope. I keep doing colon. G. There it is. So good. So good at Vim. Unbelievably good at it. Okay. That's what I meant to do the whole time, but you know, we'll just pretend. Okay. Hey Vivax, what's up? We're writing some Rust today. Yeah, it shouldn't need to be mutable anymore. We don't even need a name for it anymore. So all that's nice. So let's just run this again here. Make sure that we are happy with it. We'll do a cargo run this way and make sure we get stderr. And we will go back to our ls to make sure stdout is working as expected. And we're good. Okay. Yay, basic code. Doing some web dev and working on your web page? Cool. Very cool. Nice, nice. For any other Rusty people that didn't catch data structures, there's some VODs on YouTube if you want that sort of thing. And if you don't follow me on Twitter or you don't know about our Discord, there's the plugs. You did the art and project sections. Now you got to implement the blog. Neat. Is this just for like a personal blog? You might have already said that and I just already forgot. It's like your personal, like your dev web page type of thing. Okay. Yes, sick. Very cool. Yeah, you can link it. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're a regular. You're a VIP, Vivx. Nice. Let's take a quick break to look at Vivx's webpage. It's under construction. He's an artist and programmer. Very nice. Fun. Raid animation. Nice. That is cute. I love it. Good job. Awesome. Okay. So we've got this working. Now we just have to decide how we actually want to specify how this works. I wish like command new, what does command new actually do? No, that would be dumb. I'm like, do I want a map of commands? But I feel like that would be a waste. Let me see. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just making a struct, right? Constructs a new command for launching the program at path program with the following default configuration. Yeah, I don't like this because, well, let's just look at the source. Let's see what it actually does. Command enter imp command new program.asref. Okay. So where's this at then? Enter imp command, classic stdlib stuff. And where can I find this imp command at? Imp command. Probably a completely different file. Like where's imp even at? There it is. Create sys process as imp. Okay. Yeah, I could do that. I love that we can read source code quickly. It's a little bit annoying that I can't like quickly. Oh, never mind. Just kidding. Okay. Create sys process as imp. So it should be sys. No, did I read this wrong? No, that's understood. Well, this is process. And here's sys. I guess it'd be here then. So I go to mod. And then I'd want to look for process in here. No, not there. Stop doing this to me. Okay, guess I want to go back out of there so that it's not here. pub mod common mod personality. Okay. Maybe common. Thread local. Personality. I was just trying to look for process. I didn't think it'd be so hard. Oh, it's right there. It's probably just this. No? Process common has command. Okay. Look at process command. There it is. Yeah, so then it's doing all of this. That's a lot. Okay, yeah. I just wanted to, like, I know I didn't want to do it, but I just had to convince myself. I had to completely convince myself that instantiating a new command for every single thing was like a waste, and it is. Sys/Unix/process. Yeah, thanks, Future Highway. Yeah, you were correct. I finally got there. Okay. Okay, so yeah, let's just make this a map. And basically what it's going to be is a struct for each command. And that struct is going to be basically the program or the name and then the args. I guess we could say program since that's what Rust calls it. I don't know. Let's see. Command is used so much here. We have to start thinking of some new names because we're going to need, I want to change even the normal command. Like I could easily change the one that I have, enum command 16 up to CMD and like go from there. But I feel like, I guess that's poly command. Ben is not a bad name. I don't hate that. We can try it. So name is a string and args is a vex string. Yeah, I think this is right. Vex string. And what did I do up here? Actually, they should be static strs. Basically. They might as well all be static strs. Static strs. Okay. That makes more sense. I knew it wasn't really just going to be a string. Static stir and static stir. Okay. So let's do this. And then this doesn't belong down here anyway. Where does it belong? Probably something like here. And basically all these, instead of being static stirs, are going to have bends. Except doc's not really. I guess it is. I guess it all needs to be the same. That makes sense. But then it kind of becomes like, is it really worth even having this as a resource thing? Let me think about this. No, it does. It makes sense. I was making it more complicated. Okay. So this is an option Ben. Okay. Okay. So there's resources v2. For now, we're just going to insert one for Clojure and for the build. So we're going to say lang Clojure resources build Ben. name line args Hey FriarTech. Yeah, we're just building a little tool that I both hate and love the idea of, but it started because I did 12 languages in 4 weeks in the month of November, and I couldn't remember all of the ways, all of the tools that I needed to use in order to get to build something, run something, get the docs, test it, and get to the REPL. And so what I started with, version 1 of the tool, which is what's up on GitHub right now and works, and you can install it. It won't work on my system right now because I've already installed what I'm using right now, what I'm building right now. But just basically prints all this stuff to the terminal so that you can remember how to do it. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get to a place where you could actually just use the tool to do the thing instead of it just telling you how to do the thing. It just does the thing for you. So that's what we're doing. Okay. Very good. It hates this. Does it hate the way I'm like instantiating different things? Oh yeah, right. This isn't resources, it's resources v2. Yeah, totally. Thanks for the question. Welcome. And then why do you hate Ben? Oh, it's got to be a sum. Yeah. So I only have to remember a single tool, Amit, okay? Mismatch types, expected struct, vec, static stir, found array. Oh my God. This isn't how you do it. You have to use the vec macro. There we go. I forgot about it. Yeah, thanks for the follow, Friar. I appreciate it. We do a fair amount of Rust. We've done a fair amount of Rust in the past. And we're going to be doing quite a bit of OCaml this month, most likely. I'm going to help Dylan with a few things. Also working on a CLI, which works for me. I've only done backend for the last 5 years, so there's no way I want to touch a UI. So the closest I get is a TUI. And that's about as far as I want to get with messing with a UI. If it's in the terminal, I think I'll be okay. I don't have to think about pixels as much as just like basic placement. Yeah. Yeah, right now in Rust, I haven't done a TUI. In OCaml, we were building it with this new library that Leo Stera, who streams on Twitch as well, wrote called Mint Tea, which is inspired by Google's it's basically Google's, right? Go's bubble tea. So it was nice. It was a fun thing to play with. I could see this being fun to implement as a TUI once we get like a basic version working. It would be cool to make this a little bit more interactive with certain aspects of it. So we'll see. We'll see if we get there. Like you could just call it with all of the required arguments, but if you didn't call it with all the required arguments, if it just like gave you a little interface, like, oh, do you want to do this or do you want to do that? I don't know. That might be fun. And then since I'm like writing a TUI app in OCaml, I could also write a TUI app in Rust and just kind of really get a good feel comparison for it. Oh, cool. Neat. Yeah, I'll have to look that up. Dioxys, huh? Dioxys. an elegant GUI library for Rust. Okay, inspired by React. I've heard of it, but I forget things very quickly, which is why I'm writing this tool. um, so yeah, cool. Yeah, let me know how that goes. Okay. Where were we? Okay, so we got this working. We have our first entry in our MV2. We have the bin, we have the resources. Now we just need to actually work with this. So, So let's just go with args v2, I guess, and we can use command being the same. Well, actually, no, args are the same. Lang and command is the same. So we can go back to parsing args. Right. Okay, so our args haven't changed. Our basic interface to the user isn't changed. Your Rust is now rusty. Exactly. I was right there with you. I mean, I still kind of am. Before this, I did the 12 languages thing, and then I did AOC in multiple different languages. But like one day I spent writing Rust in 12 languages. So it really has been a couple months I've written very little Rust. And I really do like the language, and it's partly why I've decided to just kind of focus on Rust and OCaml for a while. Even though there's a lot of languages I like, we're just going to play around with that. I didn't end up doing any AOC in Rust. I actually quit pretty early on. I ended up not liking it very much. At least not. I didn't like streaming it. But we did day one in Haskell. The days that I completed, we did day one in Haskell. We did day two in Common Lisp, and then we did day three in Clojure. And Clojure is actually what I write for my day job, and I still was just doing terribly. So you pick up languages like most people pick up Pocket. Yeah. You're you're recovering sysadmin turned pointy haired boss. Rough. Okay, so we're back to having args. That looks good. And our command new should just be args dot. Wait, that's not how we're going to do this. Oh, sorry. So what do we want? We want our bin, right? So let bin equals mv2 dot. I don't remember what it is. Is it get? It is get. Get option and v. Okay. Looks good. And that gives me an option back. Okay. So then this is just going to be args dot lang. Okay. And then I don't remember how I did this. I deleted all this stuff. Didn't I? Oh no, it's right here. Okay. Some are args.command.print resource. Oh, I did it in the print resource. I forgot that I did that whole thing. So I did impl command and I did all this. Okay. So I don't want it to print resource. I just want get resource. So all we need to do is create a new method. We'll just call it get resource. Oh, this is v2 though. Right. R and resources. Wait, how did I do this? Sorry. m.get args.lang. Yep, some are args.command.print resource r. And then I matched on the self, which is the command, right? It's just matching on command. Sorry. Just remembering what I wrote here. Yeah. Okay. So that takes the R, which is resources, which is a confusing way of saying it, but I know why I called it that, but it's still confusing. So let's just say get resource for now. R, and this is going to be a resources v2. And yeah, this is going to be really, really messy code. And for now, we know that it's build because we don't have anything else, but that's okay. Let res equals match self build r.build else wrong one. And this is just going to return an option. That's what I want. So this is just returning option bin. Oh, right. But r.build already returns an option. So that's already an option. I remember now. So all I have to do is none. Okay. And I don't actually need this. We can just go here. And that's done. Okay. But I do still need to specify what I'm actually returning, maybe. That might help. Option bin, I think. Option bin. I forget how to do this. I'm missing something here because I'm being dumb. It's something really obvious. There we go. It's this skinny arrow. That's how long I haven't written Rust for. Okay, skinny arrow. I knew there. I was like, how do you specify the return type? Oh, that's so embarrassing. Clojure's on your list, Friar? Cool, yeah. Yeah, Clojure's cool. Clojure's a cool language. Rust is evolving frequently, so if you stop programming for a few months, you'll find a lot of things changed. Yeah. Yeah, Rust is very different, I feel like, than early on. For sure. The Rust T project appears abandoned. Yeah. If you find a good TUI, let me know. For Rust. Be interested to see what's out there. We could try writing one, but that sounds like a lot of work. Fork. I guess we could fork Rust T. Rust T is a really good name, though. They did a good job. They did a good job naming that one. Okay. Okay, so we got our skinny arrow. We're back to here. We have our bin. And this should just be mv2.get args.ling. Let's go ahead and just match here. And we'll just say, I guess we'll just return. Should we just return a result? I guess we could return a result. No, I hate returning results this early on in a thing. I don't know what it's going to end up being. Okay. Match mv2.get args.ling some r, and then this is going to be args.command.get resource r none to do. Perl plus Curses app is one of the primary inspirations for the project you started working on. Nice. Old people stream. Let's go. I have the reputation for being old on other streams, mostly Dylan's. It's kind of a joke. I'm not that old. Just, you know, Tech Twitch is mostly Zoomers, I guess. So I guess when you're pushing 40, you're pretty old compared to the mean. Yeah, for sure. 52. Nice. Yeah, I'm 38. You got some years on me. You're closer to 50 than not. Nice. Old people stream. Let's go. Back in my day, yeah. I try not to say that, but you know. It's also probably because I try to just forget everything that happened in my childhood. Okay, so did we call this bin.name except for my line switch there? Oh yeah, this is an optional, I forgot. So this is returning an optional. This is to do, so it panics on the other case. So actually, that probably makes more sense to do this and just return a none, which looks funny, but that's okay. And then, because get resource turns an option of bin, even though Rust Analyzer doesn't want to tell me that right now. And then we should just match. I guess we could just return early, or no, we just want to do the to do thing, right? Let me just think about this. I could do another match. It's just a little bit. I could do like a nested match. Let me just think about this. Let's just start right here. Obin. Let's start with our Obin. And it's a tough childhood because I don't remember. It's so funny. Yeah, you grew up when personal computers were a niche. Yeah, for sure. Exactly. Yeah, that's funny, Absent. That was pretty similar, except my dad passed away when I was young, but he was a super computer nerd. Uh, he had an old Texas Instruments computer. I can't remember the name of the model right now. Uh, but like I played on that. He had all sorts of things. He did punch cards. He did Fortran. He was trying um he was trying to get into the industry back then without a technical degree, but he never quite made it. So it's pretty fun. I'll have to look up his resume. His resume is awesome. I have his resume when he was trying to get a tech job from like the 70s, and we'll have to go over it on stream sometime. It's pretty fun. It's a blast from the past for sure. Okay, so now we did our match. This should actually somewhat work, except we're just going to change this to .args, and we're going to say bin.args. And this should work. Okay. Well, let's see what happens. When we say cargo run, we should actually get an error now. Okay. Fine. Cannot move out of r.build. Okay, where are we? Line 159. Okay. Right, because before... Okay. We should be able to just do a ref. So let's do this. Let's see what happens if we just do this. Oh, and I didn't do a sum. Oh, wait, I don't need a sum. Let me think. This is also not right. Borrow checker time. Expected option and bin found. Oh, right. You can convert from and option T to use as ref. Yeah. Okay. I just forgot. This is just the style now, Amit, you know? And then I'll need explicit lifetimes. That's not the worst thing. I really don't care about the explicit lifetimes. I wouldn't mind like not cloning. That's fine. So we'll just define lifetimes real quick. Let's see. How do I do this? It's been a while. I think I do a little A there. And then do I say AR? Or do I do RA? I don't remember which way. And A resources V2. Oh, that's right. It comes after the ampersand. I should have figured that one out. And A. And then where there? Neither of them. Thanks, Vivx. Thanks. It's coming back. It's coming back. Okay. iCode Apps. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, this is where like having an explicit lifetime is completely worth it. There's no reason to just do a clone. Like, it's so easy this way. Yeah, I mean, it was exploration more than anything else, but like, did my brain get pretty jumbled by the end of it? Yeah, a little bit. Like, it did. I think the hardest thing was, yeah, exactly. Use references when you can. Yep. The hardest part was, I mean, I wouldn't say it was the hardest part. It was pros and cons. Like, you try to apply syntax from one language into another, and like when you're just trying to get into the flow, that was the hard part. When you're just trying to get into the flow of implementing something, but you keep using syntax from another language that you just learned or that's very similar to it. Like, for instance, when I was writing Common Lisp and I kept writing Clojure by accident, like that was annoying. But at the same time, there were a lot of concepts that they shared and syntax even and patterns that they shared. So then you can also learn things quicker and apply them. But yeah, it's a lot. Dude, I don't know. I mean, yeah, no, it's just a big day. I appreciate everybody being here. This is probably I usually am in like the teens, low 20s. So this is nice. What is this? The official site for the creator of the personal gaming industry, Scott Adams Grand Adventures. Oh yeah, I remember these. These are cool. Okay. Move tab to another window. There we go. I'll have to have that open for another time. Yeah, exactly, Friar. That's totally true. um, and if you're cloning arguments, you're doing something wrong. The decision on whether to clone or not should be on the caller. So just take ownership, even if you know you're going to need to clone most of the time. Yeah. Yeah. It's totally fair. Okay. So that worked. We're back to here. We have oben. We get our resources v2. We have our reference to ben, which is fine. We have ben name, which should be fine because it's static. And then we have ben.args. But this is, again, where I'm moving it. And it's a vec. How do I want to do this? It's not that big. So like I could do something else. But I also wonder if I'm just doing something wrong in my actual, if there's a better way up here. Like I have a vec of and static stderr, but maybe it's that I should actually, like this is essentially a static lifetime thing. Like, is that allowed? Like it's not static currently. Can I just make this static like this? Is this allowed? But then this says it's not static. Use a boxed slice instead. Okay. And then because I have a, so if I use a boxed slice instead, just give me a second here. I use a boxed slice instead. .args takes a vec, I think. Let's see. What does .args actually take? Oh, .args just takes an into iterator. Okay, that'll work then. Okay, perfect. So box static stderr. Cool. Yeah, I like this. So we'll just have to change the way we're doing it up there, but that's fine. Box little slice action. And then this, if I define this as this, will it just like do all the work for me? No. Okay. So if I want to slice from array, there's like a way to do this. I just don't remember what it is. Can I just like do a 2 slice or something? Wouldn't that be nice? As slice. That's an error in my thing. If I do as slice, is that going to do what I want it to do? No. Oh yeah, box new. I'm just dumb. I'm just being dumb. I forgot to give it a box to start with. Oh, it's not working. How about I actually box it? Unbelievable. Okay. So that's all there. And it just does the right thing because it has the whole from into business. Yeah. Okay, well, Rust Analyzer thinks it's right. We'll see what actually happens. Is this the old error? The trait iterator is not implemented for... Oh, right. So then I just need to do the whole like into inner thing, I think. Or is it just called inner? It might just be called inner. Oh, they actually don't have this yet. I could do an into vec, but then that's kind of like pointless. Like, why did I do all this other work? What if I could just do this? Wouldn't that be nice? Then I don't have to think about anything. No, that doesn't work. Okay, I'm just forgetting. So if args wants, let's look at the error again. Iterator is not implemented for a slice of stderr. Is implemented for box AI. Required for box and stderr to implement Iterator. Sure. I just don't remember how to do this part. I'm just forgetting how to work with boxes well. That's pretty much what it comes down to. Okay, let's just look it up. Box. Do. I think it's right. I mean, it is small. Like if I was like on a time crunch, but I'd rather like learn how to make this work the correct way into inner. That is what I was thinking. It's nightly only. Called it. I could make this nightly only. I mean, it is a tool after all. It's like a dev tool. Like there's no problem with going with nightly, but that's okay. I don't really need to. There's another way to do it. I just don't remember how to do it right now. Does it have just an iter on it? Okay. Because it's returning an iterator over, right. Okay. So if it was a raw slice, like as in if it wasn't boxed, that's what I really mean by a raw slice, then I may not have to call that, or maybe I would have to call it either way. And this is the thing that I was forgetting about, is that most of the time, my preferred way to work with boxes, or at least how I've worked with it in the past, is I just want to call the method on whatever's inside of it instead of having to like actually downcast it or whatever they call it to get it back out. The slice has the .iter. Yeah, right. The .iter comes from slice, not from box. Yeah, I get that. Yep. Okay, cool. Thanks. That made that process a lot faster. Okay, love it. So if we say Clojure build, we should just get stderr. Beautiful. And if we say Clojure, or if we say anything else, Rust Bobby, invalid value. Well, I know Bobby's an invalid value. Okay. Yeah. Didn't do this yet for Rust build. Nice. Yeah. I used boxes a lot, of course, when I did the linked list, but it's been a while. That was my deep dive into using boxes. Sweet. So we finished that. Everything's working. Now it's really just kind of the boring part of filling out all of this information. Let's see. So let's start with adding the rest of these fields. And then For docs, I still don't know for sure what I want to do. So we'll leave docs out, but we'll do build, run, and test for now. Because docs is going to be its own thing. Most likely, I just want to open it in the web browser, but yeah, we're doing okay, whimsically. You know, we're big time. We're big time now. Yeah, I am always doxing myself in general. But yeah, really, seriously, I appreciate all the viewers and welcome. Collab with Prime Wen. I don't know. I mean, he followed me on Twitter the other day. It's really funny how that works. And he does follow me on Twitch as well. We'll see what happens. Probably not a collab, but he might raid me someday. You never know. It's all good. I don't expect it. Let's see. Build, run. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what this is like to go through and have to do this. It's not like the nicest thing in the world. I could define a constructor for Ben that would make this like nicer, right? Maybe that's the right thing to do here because I'm going to have to type this over and over again. So let's just impl Ben real quick. Let's impl new for Ben. Isn't it just new? Are you guys sick of me yet? I can't remember basic things. Okay, function new. Too salty. Okay. Right, function new. That'll, yeah, one-sided relationship. Yeah, it's a pretty one-sided relationship. But you know, I do have some pretty good follows on the Twitter, despite having very few followers. The other day I said this is the stream where a bunch of streamers will go and hang out. Like it's the least viewed stream with the most amount of streamers in it, and that's sometimes true. Okay, so what are we actually doing? We're gonna do name and args. I mean, it's not like this takes. It's not like this is really changing a hell of a lot, but we'll do it. You're a streamer, Nightshade. I've already said that. And we can just say self, and we're just going to say Ben here, and we can just say name args, and we're done. I guess we might as well just put this on one line. I guess I have to define types. The heck. All right. I wonder if this is going to be annoying because of the way that this whole thing works. No, it is finding the types. I shouldn't really have to do the types, right? It should just infer them. Most analyzers taking its sweet time to figure this out. Function sigs need explicit types. It's really annoying. Yeah, it's all mistakes. It's all mistakes. Your mission is to figure out how to split Emacs echo area into 2 columns. Fair. Yeah, I do wish you lots of parens and luck, for sure. Okay, fine. Now, do I need to give it the static lifetime here? I'm guessing I do, because otherwise it's going to say you didn't give it the right lifetime. That's how the Rust compiler talks. Specifically, like that is for sure how the Rust compiler talks. It looks like it's mostly fine. We'll try it without static first, and then we'll add it if we need to. Missing field test and initializer. Oh, well, yeah, I know that. Okay, it's fine. We'll get there. The type constructor contains Ben to the type of the expected and stderr found Ben. What do you mean you expected and stderr? What are you talking about? Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, that's fair. That's pretty fair. All right, let's see if adding static just fixes everything or if it doesn't. Let me comment out test for now, so we can just see what the actual problem is here. Okay. Doesn't seem like that did anything. Okay, let's just build it here. The type constructor contains Ben due to the type of the argument passed. This argument influences the type of sum. So, sum Ben. Problem field run in struct resource v2. Oh, unbelievable. I just uncommented things without even looking at it. Thanks. Okay. Now that we know what we want to do here, we should maybe just go ahead and do it. Okay. Let's not have that happen again, Amit. Right? Everybody on board with that? Okay. So now, just for the hell of it, I want to remove the statics and see if they're making me specify the lifetime or not. I would guess that it would. But these are the kinds of things that I like to find out for myself. Yeah. Lifetime problem. It may not live long enough because it might not be static, which I get. I understand why it would do that. I'm a little bit annoyed that I have to specify the function types at all, but that's okay. I've been writing too much OCaml, I guess. And by too much, I mean one day. Like it should be inferred, in my opinion, but I know everybody has their own reasons. And I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's fine. All good. All good. Yep. Okay, so this looks fine. Yeah, that'll do. Talking about Prime collabs now that I'm up to like 30 viewers. Absolutely. Then Theo collapse, right? We're just gonna go right at the top. Okay. poly generated 4 warnings. Okay, so now we can probably clean up some stuff. I'm going to leave print resource like it is, but we don't really need any of this anymore because we ended up using the other thing. We can just run cargo format real quick, and that will get rid of most of the problems. Oh, I hate that. Do not put stud underneath external dependencies. Is it because you want me to put a space above them? Like what do you want from me? Okay. Phew. Really triggered there for a second. We made it though. We made it. All right. So let's see. Change the Rust format settings to group them for you. Vivax, I don't change things. I'm using Emacs here. It eats up all of my config time. No, I'm just kidding. It's a great point. I definitely could. Someday I really want to, and I'll ask you how I should do such a thing. I've been already streaming for 2.5 hours. I had no idea I've been streaming for that long. I mean, I know it's not that long to some people. It's long for me. I have this open. Nix user. We're doing a Nix. I hope we are anyway. I'm trying to figure out the schedule for it, but Dylan and I are going to do a series on Nix because we both want to use Nix, but we don't currently. And not Nix OS, but just Nix. The package manager, etc. Group imports equals std external crate. Oh, that's really nice. Look how easy that is. Can you even believe it? Fine. Should I just do this and get over it? All right, fine. PB paste. I'm guessing I can just put it in here as rust format.toml. And then it will just work for me. Okay, thanks. In the root of the project, yeah. Yeah. Nah, it works. It's fine. Whoops. Alacrity, where did you go? No. You have led me astray. Oh. Can't set Gruda imports. Unstable features are only available in nightly channel. This is the problem. You only use nightly, I know. Oh well, it's fine. We'll just remove it for now. It's good to know about. I actually wouldn't care to use nightly for this project, and I probably should eventually, but I just haven't had a good reason to yet. Only Rust format would need nightly, not your Ben. Oh, I already have nightly. Like, sorry, I'm just remembering the time I was like upset that nightly is had to install again, and I think it was UFFX that was like, it is called nightly, you know, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. Why is this nightly toolchain installing again? I just installed it last week. All right. Anyway, okay, so how do I do that then? Just for Rust format? Only Rust format would need nightly, not your bin. Like, should I just call cargo format differently, or do I change something in my toml file? Should we pretend that ChatGPT has the answer, even though it gave me way more complicated code than I needed? No, you're wrong. You're stupid. I don't like that answer. Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. Should I could go back and see what happens. All right, fine. Let's just figure this out. Then I don't have to wonder. Key. That's fine. So there. And then if I said cargo format, it should F it up. But if I say cargo plus nightly format, it works. Nice. Good call, Vivex. At least it's on my system now, and I have it working. Yeah, it worked. I just did cargo plus nightly format and it worked. Yep, we're all good. It doesn't for you. Nice. Amazing. Advice that doesn't work for you, but works for me. I'll take it. Okay, so what were we doing? We were making bin a little bit nicer. Yeah, because you're not using Rust up, yeah. Right, the whole dead code thing. I hate that thing. I want to just suppress it for the file. Isn't it like, it's something like this. I just always forget. I have it in the DSA thing. That's what I'll do. Head Rust DSA / source / linked list. Allow dead code. It's allow. I just couldn't remember the name. Okay. Now, if I just say build, see if I have any more warnings. Nice. I don't need dead code warnings right now. Oh, because you're not using Rust up. Oh, interesting. Huh. Yeah, I guess Rust up like does it for me somehow. Interesting. All right, so let's continue figuring this out. We're gonna go a little bit longer. Finish cleaning this up here. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit nicer, I guess. Barely. It barely saves characters, but that's okay. I mean, I guess I could do the box new inside, I suppose, but I think that would just end up giving me weird lifetime things that I just don't want to have to deal with. So it's probably better for me to not do that. I need one more parentheses. There it is. Yeah. Apod, thanks for the follow. And I code apps. I think I missed that too. And Sun Halu, I don't remember saying thank you for your follow either. If you're still around, I really appreciate it. I don't know what I was doing. I was probably zoning out or something. Okay, so we have build and run, and then let's just add test now since we know how we want this to look. For Clojure, it feels like obviously a little bit silly, but there's a lot of these that are going to be quite disparate compared to this. So now I just need to uncomment test, which is here. And this should just work. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and test this out. We'll make sure that we'll just run. It'll build it and print out an error. All good. And then let's just install it. We'll go into our Clojure system, our Clojure thing, and we'll try a build, which we've already done. Pretty much know that works. Very interested to see what run does, because it's a long running process. Should be fine though. Okay, this looks good. Thread main panicked. Really? That's surprising. Did I do something dumb? Certainly possible. Oh yeah, I remember. I remember what I did dumb right here. Self run r.run.asref self test r.test.asref. Okay. Let's install that again. Okay. This could be correct. I don't remember. Oh yeah, wrong number of args passed to Clojure AOC main. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. This actually takes an argument. So that's a problem. Because sometimes you want to pass args, right? And so we do need to support like passing an arbitrary number of arguments past this. So we'll have to figure out how we want to do that. That's for another time though. To do would be support arbitrary arguments to any command. I mean, we could of course like adopt the cargo thing where you just put a dash dash or something like that. Yeah. Forwarding args after sep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's probably what we're going to do. I'm not going to deal with it right now though. This is good. It means there's things that I have to fix. Cool. I didn't expect it to pass because this is actually where I stopped, was day 3 part 2. So very nice. Polyrust run dash 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 program inputs. Yeah. Okay. Okay. But I'd still have to like read those. I couldn't just do that, right? Like I'd have to read those arguments, obviously. Like I can't just like, I think it's like the path to the file. Yeah, absolutely, Vivek. You're absolutely right. It is. That's partly why I didn't delete any of the old code, because I do just want to support printing command instead of running. So yeah, I was thinking you could do no run, or you could do -p. I don't know. What do people think? Run, no run. What are people used to? I'm trying to. I can't think of any. I can't think of any tools where this would be normal. I mean, sometimes they would say like dry run, but that's not the same thing, you know. Um, yeah, dry run. Yeah, it's not terrible, I guess. I guess dry. Um, maybe dry. That's not bad. We can try that. Okay. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's probably it's probably uh the right way to go about it. All right, sick. So we got this basic stuff done. I guess we could just go through and define. Let's just run it for Rust, since that's another thing that we can easily do, since we know Rust. Kind of. People are like, you don't really know Rust though. Now, of course, if I forget the commands to build a Rust project, the problem is that how am I going to remember to build this project? I guess I can. Now, as long as it works, we're going to be okay, right? Yeah, exactly. All right. That wasn't too hard, but somebody hates me for some reason. What's wrong with this? Oh, there is one less parentheses, but two argument. Oh, okay. That's what it was. I put a parentheses after cargo. Funny. Classic. Here I was like feeling so efficient for doing that quickly, and then I made a dumb mistake that is annoying to fix efficiently. Unbelievable. Okay. What's going to happen here? I'm going to cargo run. Okay, let's just see what happens just because I think it's funny. Okay, cargo run, rust, rust run. I want you to run this and then run a. Oh, what? Come on. Why didn't it work? Am I being dumb? Let's try it. Clojure build. Oh, right. No, yeah. I didn't. Oh, it did run it, but then I didn't have arguments to the run. Nice. Okay, that's what happened. Cargo. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, I did cargo. Cargo run Rust build. Yes. I don't know why that's so satisfying. Infinite nesting, yeah. It's freaking IDE just gaslighting me. That was funny. Okay. Cool. So there's Clojure and Rust. Easy enough. Let's move on to OCaml, which is certainly more confusing, and hopefully I actually effing remember how any of this works. The annoying thing about OCaml actually is that you actually have to pass arguments. So I'm already at the point where I'd have to remember something like passing arguments to something. OCaml is actually going to be one of the things that is the most annoying part of implementing this, at least the way that it is currently. Rust compiler is my gaslighting partner. Build some bin new Dune. Pretty sure it's just Dune build. Let's find out. Let's see. I actually have a OCaml project open. Whoa, excuse me. And should be there. Dune build. Okay, that one's easy. That one's just Dune build. Yeah, Rust Analyzer eats up stuff pretty much on every system. Okay, run is actually the annoying part, because the way that run works, like in this example, is right here. Do an exec ./mint-tutorial.exe. So I'd have to pass that as an argument to the function. Now, part of the point of this is that I don't want to have to remember all of these things. So in some way, I also want a custom error message that reminds me how to use certain things. But let's see what happens when I just do Dune exec. I guess this is fine. That's probably going to remind me enough, right? I don't know. Future problem for the future. But I'm already at the point where I can't even get the majority of this to work without actually doing the arguments thing. Pretty sure it's just Dune test, but I'm gonna guess this, yeah, doesn't have any tests. Okay, this wasn't as confusing as I thought it was going to be. Oh, cool. Thanks, future. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's find that to do. I didn't mean to paste that yet. There we go. You'll have him to clap. You could assume there's always a main file. I could. Okay. Let me just think about this. Let's see. I have another OCaml file, OCaml project. Let's go into it real quick. cd, where was it? AOC? No, not AOC. Mtol. Mtol OCaml hello world. Dune exec. Dune exec /bin /main.ml. Yeah, it doesn't work the way it's supposed to. Dune exec hello world. That's the thing that actually happens. Okay. It's not a bad idea though that I just provide this as a default argument. It's not a bad idea because it's a basic pattern. Even though it doesn't work for an actual full Dune project. We could go with that for now. How do I do this wrong every time? Is it just because of that? No. I did it again. I just can't help myself. I just love to put this in the wrong place. Be interesting to see if that even works, but it's fine. And this is resources. Hey Wayne, what's up? Yeah, exactly. Yep. It's a little abstraction over language specific build tools. It's a wonderful way of putting it. Let's see. 3 hours. Let's do a couple more. I've got it. This is not hard work, so I think we can get a couple more in. I guess it makes sense that I could just yank this instead of having to write out all of the boilerplate every time. Haskell. Stack. I already forgot because it went down again. Build. Stack run. Stack test. Yep. Yeah, Fryer, thanks. Thanks for hanging out. It was fun. What do you mean, Wayne? That I should be able to abstract over trait objects or something? Yeah, right now, like the way that the CLI works, it just goes into an enum for the language, and then we have an enum for the command, and we just have to define the actual like build run test stuff. I don't know exactly how we would get around that. Yeah, so then this is when we get into things that don't have easy command line build stories, such as SML, where you would typically be in the REPL and just say make. And then, of course, all of our Lisps are going to be pretty similar to that. So basically SML would be none for everything. So I'm not sure what I want to do with that. Let's say unrunnable. Unrunnable in CLI commands for a supported language, maybe print info. Probably reasonable. So basically each bin will probably just end up having like a print string explaining what it is. And that will be what we use in print. And then that will replace, you know, all of this. Probably the right choice. Okay. So let's skip over SML and Racket and Common Lisp and Scheme, because all of those are basically the same issues. And we'll just finish with these right here. So let's just yank 20J. No, I mean, unsolicited advice is fine. I just didn't know what you meant. I just didn't know what you meant, man. All right. We'll paste those here. And I guess we'll put them in a comment so my IDE, so my Emacs doesn't go effing crazy. Unbelievable. Okay. All right. And Zig is Zig. And Zig. And Zig. How nice. Around 62% more bash. Fair. That is an unsolicited advice, which I fully support. And now I'm just thinking that you're a plant. You're a bad cop plant, aren't you? Are you just a plant via bad cop to get me to write more bash? Oh, I already did that. CPP. Got tired for a second, closing my eyes. I have been standing up for a couple hours, I guess. Okay. Clang. Okay, so this is where we don't have any args. I wonder what's going to happen. Can I do this? I just have an empty slice. In this case, it's an array, but it turns into a slice. I wonder what's going to happen there. I have no idea. We'll find out. So for run is hard because essentially I would just want to do something like, this isn't a program. This is like run. Um, I think for now, this is going to be none for C++. I don't know what you'd want to do. Wayne says, I was just thinking about using a trait to represent the capabilities of different possible language toolchains. That trait would require methods like build, test, docs. Then each language would be represented by its own struct with an input block for the trait. Then at runtime, you would have access to some collection of trait objects. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, that's reasonable. Yeah, I'd say the only thing that I didn't do is I didn't do the trait thing, but it's similar in the case that all the struct fields are options, and so it kind of like it's like, well, if there's a none there, then we know that it's, you know, uh, that's just not supported by the language. But yeah. But yeah, you could it could be, you could do it that way. Okay. Test for C. Nobody tests C++. And by nobody, I mean I would never bother testing C++. All right. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, if you needed if I wasn't going to use this, if I was going to use this, like these things for something else, that could be useful. Okay. What, did I delete too many things? Did I do something wrong? No, it was just catching up. All right, let's see if I typed all those correctly or not. That's because I'm in my OCaml project. That doesn't work so well. let's try this. All right, cargo build. Okay, let's go ahead and install it. Cargo install path dot. Tend to overgeneralize too soon. Yeah, it's cool. No, that is something I thought about though. Wouldn't that be cool? Like if it just found the project type just based on directory contents. No, you have to give it the language. So we'll use it now. So we just installed it. So now if we want to, we could build our own Rust project with our poly. And we could do test. Yes. Passed 0 tests. Okay. And then we've already used Clojure quite a bit for things, but let's just say poly Clojure build. Created our jar file. Okay, very cool. And then let's just go ahead and get out of here into mtol. We can do C++, hello world. And we could do poly cpp build. That's fair. No input files. That's a problem. So, you know, there's problems, right? I mean, we could just say source/main.cpp. Of course, that wouldn't be correct here, but that's like where we have to fix this, right? And so I'm going to have the same problem with the other thing. Let's kind of forgot about the whole like you know, make sure you can actually pass pass the C or C++ file that you want to compile into the compiler. Many such cases. Yeah, true. Let's see. Requires file. We'll just say. I mean, of course, if I actually had like, this is the part where like, this isn't exactly correct because most likely I'm just going to call make, right? But that's okay. I mean, maybe this is more what I want anyway. When I think of build, it's different than compile, right? Cargo build's not the same as Rust C. So really, I think what I want here is I probably want make anyway. And I know some people might use CMake and stuff like that, but for now, I'm using make, so it's fine. So that's probably what I actually want. And yeah, same thing here. I'm just going to do make for both, even though I know that's probably not like what people would expect. But that's what my two projects have. Makes sense to have a separate Lang variant for make-based projects? Maybe, yeah. Throw away values like JSON, Docker. Yeah, it's a great idea, Absinthe, for sure. Okay. Okay, so what do I want to do? Oh, just to make myself feel really good. I just want to build my C project with my thing, and then I'll pretend I can pretend that way that I really should have done a push D and pop D here instead of this, but that's okay. Instead of switching back and forth a bunch of times. Poly C build. Boom. Look at this. Building C. And you don't have to remember hard things like typing out make. Okay. Yeah, totally. I mean, they're all amazing tools. Just have to remember policy build. Yeah. Ah, shit. I don't even have to remember that. Remember? I have this. Oh, poly help. Oh, good. It tells me everything. Clap is so nice. If you guys haven't used Clap, it's so nice. That's what's giving me all this basically special CLI interface magic for free. The possible values are definitely not completely correct, but that's okay. We have error messages. I didn't even do Coq, Agda, and Idris in here at all, but I don't know if I'll actually do it. I probably should just delete it from the project because, you know, reasons. Maybe I'll keep Idris in here, but like the other two, this just isn't how you'd even bother anyway. You've used the derive and the builder approach for defining command lines. Cool. Yeah, it's really nice. Cool. Well, I'm pretty happy with where we got. We got some work done. We're actually building things directly with our tool, which is fun. And we have some to-dos for next time. So I don't know next if I'm going to be doing Rust or OCaml, but we'll find out. If you don't, if you want to get stream notifications and stuff like that, you can follow me on Twitter, and you might see it. But if you want it to be more sure, you can join the Discord that Dylan and I co-parent, and you'll get stream notifications there. So you could allow languages to dynamically add CLI arguments at parse time. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there with this. This is definitely the most important part because most of these things aren't working without being able to pass arguments to them. But I don't know. It'd be kind of cool to do smart things. I mean, the fact that, for instance, on Dune exec, I even have to pass arguments to it, it's kind of like unnecessary because it's pretty obvious what I want to run depending on what's available in the directory. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of ways we could go with this. Well, let's push this. We're in a branch. We're in the V2 branch. We went from version 0.1 to version 2. Just jumped. V2. Actually do things besides printing. I really need to just fix that on my Git config. I forgot I wasn't in iTerm. I use iTerm for work. I use a different terminal for work, so I don't have to remember things. Like clearing it out and command history and stuff. Well, if you don't already follow me, shoot me a follow if you enjoyed the content. We'll be doing some more Rust and OCaml in the future. And yeah, we got some good progress going. And let's find somebody to raid. Always scared going to the Twitch homepage, of course. Oh, Togglebit is streaming. Very cool. I think that's easy. I rarely stream while he's streaming, and he's doing a TUI in Rust. So we might learn something. We might learn us something. /raid Togglebit. That looks right to me. Thanks so much for hanging out, and we'll be back. Let's see. I will probably be streaming tomorrow, and so that's probably the next stream is tomorrow. So probably see you guys then.